Are we on? I don't think so. Ah, here we go. Okay. Okay, I guess it's on. Things are oh yeah, we are live. All right. I can't tell because OBS is being dumb. Welcome, Matthew Kuhn. Heck yeah, I can't wait to see the master work. All right, the time has come, my friend. All right, so let's see. Let me close this out. Oh yeah, it's because I have that open. Yeah, I just didn't say I was live. It just says auto stop for some reason. So let's. I wanted to do this song because I like the song. It's got like a very good jazz influence. It sort of feels like it's like a ragtime influence. And also the samples are super short. So to have full quality samples for this is going to sound, just fair warning, it's going to sound pretty different. Because the samples are just like basically just synths. They're like just synthesizer bits. They're not even really instruments, but there are full instruments, and when you stretch that out, it'll probably might blow your mind. So I'm gonna drag the MIDI here, which I've created with VGM Trans, and select MIDI out with Fruity LSD, because Fruity LSD is going to allow us to play the original instruments by loading this DLS file here, which was also created with VGM Trans. So check this out. Cool, super short. Actually, now that I think about it, I'd say this is more inspired by classical, but this this bit here is very typical of ragtime. Yeah, sort of like 12th Street rag. Okay, so welcome Isa Breathe. Welcome here Latina. Welcome Ganon Hard. Greetings from Chile. Nice. Welcome from Chile. Welcome from Spain, I'd say. Ooh, Super Mario World. Welcome, Isa Breathe. One of my favorite video games ever, and my first one I played. Nice. Yeah, it's a classic. Welcome, Master Leon C. Hola, hola, amigo. Diez sin virtus directus. Ah, I understand, yeah. My Spanish is not great, but I understand. It is un crack. All right, thank you. Welcome, buenvenido. LSD. we got one here. We got one psychedelic dude here. Welcome, Gender Big. By the way, ¿dónde está la preciosa? Ah, yeah. Where is Sylvie? ¿Dónde está Sylvie? Our other Spanish-speaking friend. Okay. Anyway, so let's see what we've got going on here. Let's solo this track. So this first part is the Roland bass marimba. So if we go then to contact, and I think I have the bass marimba stored in Donkey Kong 64's project repository, so let's take it from there. DK64. Okay, that should be, if I sort these in by name, it should be in under B. Yes, bass marimba. So let's see what else we have that is bass marimba in here. So you can check the patch change log. Okay. Then there's a little trill of the bass marimba there. Okay, so we can probably, let's see, we can probably take these for now, but then just not remove the space, because I don't know if there's going to be more stuff in the middle of that. I don't quite know how to organize all of this. I think it's just this. Yeah, so let's select that. I'm selecting multiple with Control and Shift. And then if I go back to the beginning, okay. So Control, Shift, and then touch the screen. Get all this good stuff and copy. And then we're going to right-click the pattern chooser and find verse empty and call this bass marimba, or call this marimba, since it's basically not really functioning as a bass marimba here, but that's the patch that was used. Okay, so then we head on over to contact, paste that here. Okay, now naturally the patch has a release on it, which means that it lets each note ring out, because that's the way a marimba is. You can't stop the notes. But that being said, I don't want it to ring out so much because it sounds like a vibraphone. Usually a marimba has more, unless you're hitting it with a really hard mallet, usually a marimba is not that, like, doesn't have that long of a tone. That's usually a marimba that does that because it's in fact metal, and metal is very reverberant. Not so like wood. Yeah, so let's set the decay to like 1 second, and then I think it's 1 second here for the release. Nice. Maybe even a little less, because I know most marimbas don't really... Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that and the panning of the marimba is 77% to the left. So let's then drag this patch in contact to 77 left. 78 is close enough. But I think it might, I think it might have been an octave higher. Let me check. Oh, it was an octave higher, yeah. Nice. Lovely. Now let me see, there is multiple velocities, velocity levels, and we're using the lower one, or there's 2 velocity levels. So let's see what happens if it sounds closer, if we put it up to the highest. Yeah, I think it sounds closer. Nice. Okay, so let's do a test here. I want to see if it would sound closer with the regular marimba, because it is in like regular marimba range. It's not in the bass. So let's test that. Oh, it kind of does sound closer, actually. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think that one sounds closer. It might have been the it might have been the regular marimba, actually. Welcome, Gil GTG. Sam, you do beautiful work restoring mashups. The mashup is fabulous with the video editing choice to show how Tommy Dancy was maybe laugh out. Yeah, I like the you like the old time, you like the old stock footage. No, that was fun. And so all that stuff is in the public domain, so you can pretty much use whatever you want from archive.org. The audio from the program is much lower than your voice, barely audible. Okay, I can fix that. Let me turn that up. Yeah. Let's see. Turn all of this up. Maybe it's a little quiet. Let me do. Yeah. It just gets to be a problem when there's a full thing going on. When there's a full thing. I don't know if I should turn yeah, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so that ought to fix it. Hello from DC. Ah, welcome. Welcome, Liqui Briscat. I know I've seen your name before, but I still like that. For some reason, this time that part threw me for a loop. The first one. Welcome. Oh boy, Jam and Sam went from the DKC trilogy to Metroid to Super Mario World. Yeah, we're going on journeys over here, crossing planets. DKC in our first two video games I started playing when I was 7 on Woo Virtual Console. Woo Virtual Console. Ah, what's that? Oh, wait. When I was on the Wii Virtual Console. Ah, okay. You said Woo Virtual Console. Woo. Nice. Yeah, I had the Wii Virtual Console as well. That was a good one. I remember the Wii days. Those were nice. Played like Smash Bros and all that stuff. Wii Sports, which was really goofy. Okay, so. And now I think we need to set that panning again because it ruined the panning. So let's set that. Let's see. And what's this here? I have a feel. What is this? Oh, this is that. That's that Fanta Bell. Like that's that thing that's like from Yoshi's Island. Or I guess it's originally from here, but it was reused in Yoshi's Island. So that sample. Oh, where's my D70? That sample. D50, that's the one I have. So it's called the Fanta Bell. And it's this sort of thing. Let me remove that reverb. Yeah. And it's also pretty quiet, so let me turn out the volume. Bump up the volume. So it's this thing. But the thing is, the reason why it sounds like that is because they use an well, not that, but because it uses an imperfect loop point, which happens sometimes for composers in the SNES, where they would make the loop point specific, like intentionally imperfect, so that it caused glitching and it give it a different sound. So now you go from this to, and it creates all these overtones all over the place, and it sort of makes it sound a little more like a harpsichord, really, than an actual bell. So like, it sort of sounds like. But it's definitely still that bell. Now, we can use that, but it just sounds massively different. And or we can use the one that I've created. I sort of like replicated that kind of what's it called? That kind of glitching for like in Yoshi's Island already. So if we take that sample, you won't be able to see this, but I'm getting it here. So it sounds a lot closer. Okay, so that means that I now want to take everything that's playing those notes. Okay. So let's copy that. Whoops. And let's find first empty and call this Glockenspiel, I guess, because a Glockenspiel is like sort of the orchestral equivalent of that sort of bell thing. It's supposed to be. Okay, but that's the original. Let's put it in the sample from. But it doesn't sound quite, it sounds like there's less of a pluck on it here. Or maybe it's higher. Yeah. And it sounds like it has a tack on it, like it's the transient is muted out. So to do that, maybe we can like maybe we can actually trim that out and then you put some attack on it. So I'm setting the setting a little bit of attack on the volume envelope, turning up the sustain and giving it some release. Nice. And let's see, let's call this bell glitchy. Or glitchy bell. And let's call this just regular bell. Okay, so the other thing is like there's a lot of high frequencies here, supersonic frequencies even. So I'm gonna have to give this a mixer track and put a high pass on, a low pass on it, and like just trim those super high frequencies so that it doesn't go supersonic on us. Nice. Lovely. Okay. And that note might be off though. Let's see. Ah, it is off. Let me see, there's not really very much way of telling what note this actually is. Because, like, using a tuner on it in the sense. Because it won't tell you. Yeah. Okay, so basically that'll do it. That's pretty much the same as this one. But I want to get a tuner to say which note actually is this. Let's see. Let me go to the master and put a tuner on that. Okay, so it's registering it as G. The original, anyway. I mean, it's registering mine as G, but it's really sharp. There we go. Actually, that might be a bit much. I need to go up 2 cents. There we go. But then again, that should be, I'm not hitting G, I'm hitting D. So maybe, let's see, that's C, so it would just be a C then. But is that going to be the correct note? Let's find out. Sounds like it. If it's dissonant from the rest of this piece, then we can change it. But this needs a, we're going to copy the panning value here and turn this, actually, this might have multiple notes, so let's just for now, actually we can for now turn it to the right, yeah. Now the next thing we have here is a clarinet. Let me see what people are saying though. I'm looking for something that may help you. It may take a bit though. Ah, okay. Alright, help is on the way. Let me get that a break. So the ice level. Oh wait, we're having a conversation here. You can just call me LB. Nice, that's simple. Sounds like in a snowbound land a little bit. That bell, like in a snowbound land, did have a sort of bell like that, I do believe. Welcome, Sylvie. Hola, querido amiga. Hola, buenos días. Es genial que me encanta Super Mario World. Yeah, bienvenida. And the ice level in Zelda, Oracle of Time. Ah, that I don't know. I do not familiar. I didn't grow up with that game. Let me turn on this fan. It's hot in here. Hope it does. I hope this doesn't. No, it is. That you can hear that. Maybe you can actually hear quite a bit of noise. I need to do a filter, filter out the noise on my mic. One moment, please. Ah, lovely. It's gone. I think maybe it needs a little more. Okay, I think that ought to do it. Okay, so... Okay, we have a clarinet here. Ooh, I hear a change there. Okay. Now let's find first empty and call this clarinet. And then I need to grab my clarinet I think I have a sample saved for this. This comes from the Kawaii K1V, from which I have saved the sample from. And we can use that. Unless I'm not sure if I want to put it into, oh boy. Just because I put the cursor there, FL Studio is gonna, and then it's gonna put it in exactly the same spot, even though that's completely off the grid. Like, how stupid do you get? Okay, never mind. Now the notes are there. I think it's an octave higher. Okay, and of course it has to have attack. Let's release. Okay, that sounds pretty well. Let's check it. Okay, and it's panned, here it's panned 77% to the right. But then when it goes into that other bit, it's panned center. Okay, so... Now let's take this bit right here, and we'll make it pan 77% to the left. Actually, better yet, let's... Okay, I need to have one for marker. Feels a little bright, but we can fix that. Now let's give that its own mixer track. And let's put an EQ on it. And we'll put a low pass on that. There we go. Much better. Nice. Okay, very good. Now the next part of this is the strings. Control Shift and select. And then we have this. Okay. So let's copy that. And then I think this is going to be some kind of... This is definitely going to be some kind of a melody line here. Okay, and then for the strings, I think it uses the D50, and it has there's some kind of preset for Arcos. Yeah, Arco strings here, which may very well need to be modified, but can be nonetheless. And of course, FL Studio is going to paste it in the wrong place, so I have to fix it. Nope, that's not it. Let's go to, we have to go to the D50. Nice. Now I'm not sure, I might, that's a bit of too much of a character change. I think it's just the certain parts of this. Let's see. Yeah. Now we just need to disable the reverb. And I think this needs to be louder. And there's a lot of attack on it. The note just crescendos automatically. So let's see, how many things, is that both layers that do that? Nice. I think I like both layers being there, but there needs to be less attack. And so the way this envelope system works is like you have T1 controls the time, and then L1 controls the level that it rises to. So I definitely want this to rise to full. I want it to take less time. And then maybe this, the same. Oh, that's too little time. That's too loud now, so let's see. I think it needs more, even more time. Nice. And it's still, I think there's quite a bit of release on it. So the release would be T5. And then I think, oh yeah, ending level is 0, and then T5 should be down like maybe 33. Let's try that. Okay, that's good. Because strings, like, actually, and it seems like it's emulating actual, like, strings. So, and those would really not have much release because the violins kind of have control over their release. Welcome, Elsa. Beautiful, love Sam Miller's restorations. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome, Elijah. This is one of those games that has extra notes referenced in data but not played in game. I don't know. I haven't. This is only the only song I've seen from this game, so we'll find out. I guess if we do this more, I don't know. We'll see how it does. Anyway, that sounds good. And I can take off that tuner now. It's pointless. Nice. Okay, so. And let me make sure that this just kind of sustains, like, I want the LT, okay, yeah, it seems like it has a dip. And then it does sustain a bit. So I want these all just to be up. Yeah, that's better. And I think we can raise that release a little bit. Just about 10 points. Nice. Okay, so that's the first channel then. But what was the panning on the strings? Let's see. Oh, it's just center, I do believe. Oh wait, we got something. Oh wait, that's actually the marimba. Yes. Sometimes Fruity LSD lies to me. Okay, so this second channel, I think this is the clarinet. Oh, looks like it's got layers here. So it looks like, real quick for organizational purposes, it looks like we've got 2 layers of melody, and then the rest is harmony. So, that being said, I think the best thing to do would be to combine these by these two melodies, like melody 1, melody 2, etc. And then like basically organize them based on that. So then we can take this clarinet, cut it, put it in that first channel. And it's too far. Nice. Okay. So, and then there's a question of how to organize these. I would like to organize them but based on which has the most instruments in common. Like, for example, if this has the clarinet, I would like to put that in with the rest of the clarinet, ideally. Okay, and then it goes to the strings. But all the way through, it looks like this is hand to the center. Okay, perfect. So let's put this in with that second melody. Or with the clarinet line in general. Seems like FL Studio didn't listen to me when I told it to copy. Sometimes it does that. I just tell it copy, and it doesn't copy. Because it's, I don't know, it's not paying attention or something. Okay, so let's copy the second time, and let's hit Control C multiple times so that it makes sure it hears me. Let's paste that. I think it has to go up an octave. Yeah. I think I need less attack on this. Okay, and then the clarinet can actually come back here since I'm gonna keep it in with the rest of its notes. Okay, so let's cut this. Go back to clarinet. Okay. So let's call this melody like melody 1 or melody 2. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't even matter. Let's call this melody 1. Okay, perfect. And we can delete this for now. And then we have some strings. It switches to marimba. Okay. And most of these, I think these sections are just repeated twice, it looks like it. So maybe I can just copy one and be done with that. Yeah, let's copy both just in case. Oh yeah, that part's different. Okay. And then we have this. Second part to the strings. Okay. And then this part. Okay, and then it goes down there. And then we have another note here. Okay, so let's copy this. Head on over to, what would be melody 2? I don't know. There's something already there. And then we'll paste that here. But then it puts it in the other thing, so we have to... And we're gonna put that in our D50. Okay, lovely. Perfect. Okay, then we grab the marimba here. Control, and then drag. No, don't do that. Okay, let's pause that for a second. And then we come over here and grab this part. And that's glockenspiel, and then this. And that. Ah, that's clarinet. I missed some clarinet bits. Okay, so let's copy that, and then we go back to melody 2. And then we go to contact. Put that there, and then we're good. Ah, but it has to be Alt-C. You have to press Alt-C. Okay, let's control up, because that's... interesting. But I think this should actually go in here, especially since the other marimba is there. And because there's space. Nice. Okay. Now we take this, it's basically like a wind chimes or something. Or like a glockenspiel going up, like sweep, I should say. And another one. Okay, so let's copy that. And let's see, there's nothing here on melody 1, and this is, I think, where our glockenspiel already is started, so. Ooh, nice. Ah, I like that. It sounds more like a bell now. But is that supposed to still be panned the same way? Let's find out. And the marimba is still panned the same way. That one is supposed to be panned 77% right. But the bell is normally panned all the way to the right, so let's see. Yeah, so that one's all the way to the right. So that means we need to make this centered. And then here, we need this to be panned we need these notes to be panned all the way to the right. And then here, I think it was 77% left. I do believe it was that. Yep. Yep. But this one is, let's see. Why isn't my MIDI thing working? There it is. Sometimes it goes to sleep on me. Okay, that's definitely the clarinet though. Oh, I guess it just seemed the same because it's marimba's layered in there. But this one's supposed to be panned all the way to the right, I think. Yeah. And it is, I think. Ah, yes, I have this one panned the other way. So let me Alt X and then like turn the multiplier the other way. Nice. Lovely. Now next, I think I missed those notes there. Yeah. Okay. So this, if we copy, and then we send this to, what is it, melody 2? No, I think we send it to melody 2. And then we go to clarinet. And I think we go up an octave. Yeah. Nice. Lovely. If you use the preview version of VGM Trans, you will get some signal vibrato via mod wheel. I don't know if I don't even the VGM Trans is free, so I wouldn't know. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. But I'm not really using the mod wheel for the MIDI anyway. Love your excellent restorations. They're like remasters. I also love seeing you. Ah, yeah. There you go. Oh, you've like scarred her, shocked her. Nice. Thank you. Okay, so this, yeah, that part is 77% right. So the clarinet will have to be like that on those notes, but normally a lot of it's center. So I think it goes center and then it goes back to the right. No, that's the other way. Yeah, definitely going to the right, so and then here switches to the right. And I think I put it the wrong way here. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, that's true. Nope. I want it to stop there. No, it keeps on going further than I intended it to. Let me stop this. Nah. Okay, what I need to do is put my entire view here. Yeah, so I can see the whole thing. But it's still... Here we go. Lovely. Okay, now that should cover those two channels. Now we have whatever's going on here. Let's see. Welcome, the special brew. A new project. Not really a project, just on a whim I wanted to do this song. Welcome, Jesus. Tube Recordo. Tube Recordo. Welcome. Planning on making the soundtrack for the whole game. Nope. Just this song. So this is like, I think, the brass here. No, this is still the strings. Ah, this is the brass. Okay. Okay, so let's take this. Okay, I think it switches. Yeah, it switches back here. I think this is pretty much our base here. So Control Shift and then Control Shift this too. This is still the strings. Okay, so this here, let's copy this. Find first empty, call this bass. And then I'm going to go to D50. Let's put this at the beginning since it's all, like, I think it's pretty much the only bass we have. Da, 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 da. Nice. Nice. And none of that seems to be panned. I don't think it was. Ah, it was. Was it? Was it like that before? Or is pretty LSD just lying to me? Nope, it is like that. Okay, so this one wasn't panned before, so I think and since this is not a native FL plugin, we're gonna have to use automation to set that. So that means that wait, let me see exactly what it does after that. Okay, so that's the only time it's panned. So here we're gonna have to make sure we edit events and Control I to make sure that when it's on this part, it will actually no. We need another like another channel because this is going to be going on at the same time as the rest of them. And so let me just make sure that the D50, we didn't have any panning on the D50 stuff, did we? So far. On the other... Oh, that's center. All center so far. Nice. Okay, so let's see. We have now our brass also. Oh, I also need to automate this. So the second D50, let's call this strings. And let's call this marimba. And let's cut and paste that there. These are going to be our bass strings. And I think actually there's another bass going on here. This is not quite the bass. Yeah, so we'll probably have to move that later. But this 70 is supposed to be 77% left, so let's copy this automation. And then we'll paste that there. Nice. Okay, then we have our brass over here. Okay, so that's pretty much that, and then yeah. Let's go over to head over to bass, and I guess we'll call this like a, well no, we'll just drop this in, and let's see, this is our brass. Oh, but I forgot to set the envelope for this sample. Let's see. It's gonna be a horror mess. And let's use the loop points. Yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds a little weird doing it on the full sample. I might have to trim it. Okay, so that'll do for now. Welcome, Mechadom. That sounds like Doom. Yeah, it does sound very Doomish. Are you using Contact VSTs? I'm using a Contact VST. I'm using it for the marimba because the marimba patch is like a multi-sample, and when you pull it from the CD, it directly converts to like a Contact 5 really does it. But the rest are samples. So actually, this one's a VST, Roland VST. Wait, what did you open? My computer's doing some dumb things. Welcome, Morales Neri. Welcome, Sean McDaniel. Exciting, love the Mario themes. Thank you, glad you enjoy it. Whoops, I accidentally pushed on the keys there. Let me, hold on. My computer's doing some dumb stuff. Let me stop it from doing dumb stuff. Okay, fixed. Now, so most of this is bass, except this part is not bass, so I need to put that somewhere else. So this, and I think there might be, let me see what else is going on. Okay, so that's an actual bass there. And so at this point, I don't think there's any other strings going on, so we can... see, we have some... Yeah, we do actually have some more strings going on. Okay, so we do need it to be panned both ways at the same time. Let's see. So let's go for... We can have the... I think we're gonna have to do this again. Strings number 2. Okay, so let's go down, head on over back to bass. And then we're going to select this, cut it, and we're going to move this to strings. And actually, we're going to cut this all together. Find first empty and call this harmony. Do 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 do. And then we're going to go to bass again, and we're going to take that automation there, cut it, and then bring it on over to the harmony as well, but we're going to put it in the strings, regular strings, and make sure that works. Okay, nice. I'm just playing around right there. Okay, so that's the start of our harmony. And now the rest of that's bass. And then in the second line we have... We have a bass going on here. Okay, then we have continuous strings going on here. Okay, so pretty much all of this is strings. Now, since, let's see, this, I would like to, yeah, I might like to separate these and put this into bass strings so that it's mixed a bit differently. Yeah, well, let's do that. Let's separate these. Actually, we can keep them together, I think. Nah, let's separate them. Okay, so let's go to string, head on over to strings 2, and FL Studio of course put this in some weird places, so we have to move it back to its proper place. Okay, and this this needs to move. Let's set our snap to be bar, and let's shift it over. Oh wait, here it has to go another bar. Nice. Nice, and none of that was panned, right? Wait, yes it was. Ah, interesting. Okay, this part is panned. Yeah, that part. Okay, so let's copy all this automation and go to the second strings, and we'll paste that there. No, it always puts things in the wrong place. Like, why would you put it over there? Just, what are you doing, man? Who programmed this thing? Crazy. Okay, here we go. Perfection. Da 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 da. Very classical. Da 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 da. Let's see. Okay, what people are saying. If I recall, Kondo used a D50 and a Kawai K1 for some sounds for the game. Exactly, he did. That's exactly what he used. I don't want... Welcome, Jackie Chun. I don't want to be a downer, but this was the main game on launch. There's like dozens of MSU remakes of this. Oh, no downership implied. Now there's going to be 12. Might be hard to stand out. I don't need to stand out. I don't care about standing out. All I care about is making this and having fun. Yeah. So, let's see. That's pretty good for that. Yeah, that's working out there. So, let's go on to the next thing. Oh, okay, so we have clarinet, first of all. Center. Strings. Okay, so let's take these two clarinet notes, literally just two notes. And I think we'll put this in harmony, maybe. No, I'll make a new line for this. So it looks like, yeah, this is just an extra thing, really. I could put this in melody, maybe. Yeah, or in harmony. The harmony, I could have it play harmony with the... Yeah, let's do that. I want to put that in with the string harmony. Because it's just like two weird notes. Okay. Let's go to clarinet. And shift that over. Control up for up an octave. Let's see. Hey, well, I was thinking about it because I was looking for your Super Metroid pack and it was hard to find it in the list since there are so many. Is it hard to find? Is it on Zeldix, right? Because I remember Zeldix is the repository. Zeldix, Super Metroid. Or no, Super Metroid MSU1. If I Google Super Metroid MSU1. And then how long do I have to scroll down for it to be found? Yeah, I mean, I barely even have to scroll a page. I just have to scroll a little bit. Yeah, there's my restored pack. Nice, so it's I mean, it wasn't hard to find for me, but then again, I know what I'm looking for. The samples are directly from the game, I'm guessing. No, they're not directly from the game. They are from before the game. They are from the places that the composer took the sounds from before he put them in the game. So if you take these samples from the game, it's not going to sound good. It's horribly compressed because it was very primitive machine making these. So you have to bypass the game and find where the composer took the samples from, and then go and just use that. That's how you get it. That's how you get it in the best quality. In some cases, you don't. In some cases, to get it in the best quality, I don't even use the same machine that the composers use, because some of these sounds were actually used and used again by the companies that make the machines. And sometimes there are higher quality versions of the same sounds than even the composer had access to. And you can find them easily now because it's, of course, many years later. Wait, you using samples from the leak? I don't know about any leak. Is that big Nintendo leak that people were talking? I've heard about it sparingly, but no, I'm not using any samples from the leak. I am using... Here's what I'm using. This is the marimba from it was originally from Spectrasonic's Heart of Africa, but Roland used it in their seed in like the Sound Canvas D7 D50, you name it. They used that thing everywhere. That's the typical Roland marimba, but I'm pretty sure it originated from Spectrasonic's Heart of Africa. I don't know that for sure, but I know that this thing is like everywhere. And I'm also using the the Fantabell from the D70, Roland D70, directly from the synthesizer. And then I just made the loop imperfect so that it sounds glitchy, like in the game. Clarinet, directly from the... It's from the K1V VST. It's a free emulation of the Kawai K1R. And then I'm using directly the D7, the official Roland D50 synthesizer. Yes, okay, yeah, it's the D50 here. That's what it was, not D70. And then for the brass, this comes from the Kawai K Mega, which I'm pretty sure is the same wave as used in the K1R. It's just instead of being a single cycle, it has a full sample to it. So we'll see. I have to also review these sounds and make sure that they are sounding correct. So some stuff might get changed. Have you played the 12-orb SMW ROM hack? I don't even know what that means, man. Yeah, I've never, honestly, I haven't even really played Super Mario World. I just like this music. If you want non-Kaizo hack, I don't know. What is Kaizo? I don't even know what that is, man. I'm mostly a musician above all, and my main thing that I played was Donkey Kong. I didn't really, and then I got into music, and I particularly like video game music. So some video game music. So I started getting into that, but I never really played much of those games except Yoshi's Island. I played a lot of Yoshi's Island as a kid. That's about it. So, what were we doing? Okay, so we got that clarinet in there. Okay. Perfect. Okay, then we have this marimba syncopation here. So this, and so this is gonna be pan to the left. Okay, interesting. Okay, so let's copy this, and I'm gonna figure out where to put this. Organize it. Let's see. Is there any marimba? So the marimba is curiously absent in that part, so maybe we can make that like, or I don't know, part of the marimba line in some way. Maybe I'll just make that. I'll make it part of the melody, I guess. Try to make it. Let's see how that fits. Okay, and then I have to Alt-C to change it to channel 1. Oh, but it has to go up an octave too. Yeah, but it's a bit low in the register. I might put it somewhere else. And it also has to be panned differently. I might put it in, I'll just put it in harmony. That's fine. So let's shift and right twice. Yeah, because it fits in more with this than it does with the melody. Okay, now then there's the matter of panning this. So for contact, actually, since this is just one channel, I can just apply the, what's it called? Automation to that. Okay, so let's do, yeah, it's just gonna have, on that section, it's just gonna have to, so let's control I to insert 0, which is already there. And then, now let's send it to about 77% to the right. No, it's to the left. Nope, it has to be further back than that. Okay, then we can turn it back because the lead has to play stuff. Okay, there's a little bit of, like it cuts off one of the notes here when it does this. So let's make that a little more, wait, I forgot the place it was going to be in. Okay, here. There we go. Nice. Nice. Okay, that's working out pretty well. Now, the last order, well, not almost. Okay, then we have, what's this, the brass? No, this is the strings again. Okay. So let's go to, I think, harmony. Yeah, this is the other side of that harmony. Nice. Interesting. Spooky. And this is going to be panned all the way to the left. Yeah. So let's say when this comes around, but there might be, I think there's like a bunch of other samples in there that's like, yeah. Yeah, this is like a huge string chord. Interesting. Ah, but this... Yeah, so this only has to be... Like, I just have to make sure I'm not using the melody. Like, the main melody one. So this one can go in with the... Yeah, so this one just has to be... I have to switch places with these. Because the main melody one is using those. Is using the other one. And this one I want to be center anyway. So let's switch these, because this one's the one I want to be panned. This is the one I have the freedom to pan. Okay, so that means at this moment, this one's going to go all the way to the left. Nice. No, wait, that's the wrong one. Oh, just like this one also occasionally goes. Nice. Okay, lovely. Mario graphics and music are surprisingly well met. The game has a very circus-like aesthetic to it, and the music is very adapted to it. Ah, yes. It does sort of sound like a circus, doesn't it? It's like that history of like European history of circuses, like with the traveling circus shows. Like Lemmy balances on a circus ball and Bowser has a clown copter. Ah, is that what I've seen an image of that? Like sounds vaguely familiar to me. Okay, so bass is nice. So now you have this. The only other part is this. This needs to go to the bass strings and in the bass pattern. I think I aligned these badly. Hold on. Let me select this and shift it 2 bars to the right. And then I want to shift the brass 2 bars to the right as well. Okay, no panning here to be responsible for. Good. Nice. Okay, now the very last order of business is this string line here. And so this should go in the harmony, no doubt. Nice. Okay, so, but this one, you have one being panned center and one being panned to the left, so I might need to make another one, but... But at least this one's always panned to the left. So that, I always pan center. So maybe I can move that one here. Actually, I don't want to do that. Let's just make another strings channel. And then that one's already panned to the left, so all we have to do is paste it. Lovely. Okay, so our melody I kind of wanted to split up some of these up too, like split some of these up, but I don't know. Might just split this one up really, but that would be confusing. I think I'll just leave it like that. Okay, so let's put this thing together. Let's start with the melody 1 and 2. Nice. Okay, now the harmony. And then the bass. Ooh. I'm not sure I like the way that brass is sounding. I might have to give that a second look. I think some of these have a little bit of delay that I want to account for. And I think I might want to use something else, like the trim for a version for this brass. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's just give everything a mixer track now. So let's say the marimba goes in the next track. And the bell we can probably remove, unless I think it kind of plays a really minor role. Might be able to just use the original. I wonder how that would sound. Let's create a mixer track called strings. And then we'll send all the strings, all the treble strings, that same part. Then we'll make a new one for the bass strings. And why does this have a pitch change? That's weird. And let's give the brass a track. Now everything sounds like it just sounds a little bit off timing here. And the reason for that might be because of some of the VSTs come in later. Like they have a little bit of delay, so we need to use plug-in delay compensation. I'm going to give the marimba, because contact usually has a little bit of delay. And then I'm going to give it to the strings, because that's a VST as well, and the bass strings. 25. That's better. Maybe not the marimba though. Let's call this tuba, because it's really more of a tuba. Not tumba. Let's call this tuba. Nice, I like that. Now let's see what happens if we give that to the if we give the bell part to the D70. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that doesn't sound like it doesn't really fit. Interesting. No. Let me see, I can put the bell back and see what that does. Maybe a little bit back, it's just kind of ugly, that part. Alright, so let's go through this like a little bit at a time. Let's start with the clarinet. And let's give it some chorus, because it's quite mono. Pretty good. But I think this would be better if we make this into a synthesizer. Like an additive synthesizer particularly. That way, because a synthesizer will be better capable of handling it. And making it sound more natural than if you just sampled it outright. So I want to load Harmor for this. Let's say, take Harmor, load an initialize patch, like just the default. And then take the clarinet, and I'm going to drag it into the waveform table. And see what that does to it. So that's that versus... I think that sounds, it's a small difference, but I think it will make a difference in the end. So, let's see. If we... I also need to apply that envelope. So let's call this clarinet. And then let's give it a little bit of chorus. But I think the game had like a quick envelope. And very little release. That sounds a little bit more... Yeah, see, it just sounds a bit more alive when you do it like that. Oh, and it's also not being being like low passed. I like that better. It's a slight difference, but I think it'll make a difference in the long run. So let's give that a little chorus. But I think it might even be even better with just unison. Yeah, there you go. It flutters a little bit. It's not as obvious as when you do it with chorus. I like that better. Yeah, there you go. So let me now give all of the clarinet parts to that. Cool. Nice, we can delete that now. Okay, now let's go for our marimba. Now let's give that... It's very mono, so let's give it chorus. And let's slow down the chorus, turn out the stereo, and let's turn the whole thing half power. And then we want to give this saturation, because it brings out all the nice little details in there. Because it's a old 70s or 80s sample set. See, now that just brings out all that little nice clicky stuff. And then if I don't think we need, there's a lot of highs already in here, so I don't want to use Exciter. Nice. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's move on to the strings. I might also want to do the same thing with the strings as I did with that one, because it's like a yeah, almost played King K. Rool's theme. Ah, is that it? I don't know. I didn't notice. Welcome, Ludicrous Panda. So I kind of want to do the same thing because this is really just a synth. And it's pretty general. Like, I can go and take like a harmor and just do, whoops. Hold on, let me go back to the whoops, sorry for your ears. Where's that? Yeah. And it's really loud, so let's turn it down. And so that's pretty much the shape of it. But then it has a bunch of, it has like some unison in it. It's either that or chorus. Okay, and then it also has an envelope, and it decays over time. So if we turn this pluck knob down, we get that sort of like decay. And then if we turn on the envelope, and then we can kind of adjust the waveform, or the and I think in the game it actually has a little flood, has a little like less sustain like that. And we can turn this up a bit. Ah, that has more like and I think it has more voices in it. Yes. Nice. Actually, it's a little brighter. And it's less, it takes longer to decay. Yeah, there we go. That's getting there. And it takes... Okay, that is still much better already. One moment. So this means that if I use this, and let me call this strings, I can put it in here. And then I don't need all of these because I can have different set, like, note pans. So if I want to go So this, I want to make this one 77% to the left. I just go into Note Pan. Nice. And so if I cut that, and wait, this is going to be... No, don't do that. And this one's center, so if we cut that and bring it to the strings... And now this one is... it also pans sometimes. So let's put that here. Whoops. Okay, perfect. Now, if we cut that and bring it over to the strings, then that will also have the same panning. With some of them being panned one way and some of them being panned another way. Okay. Now this one is just always panned to the left. So we'll cut that. Place that there. Just 100% left across the board. Nice. And this one I think is always center. So we cut that and paste it here. Okay, and this one's always to the left. This one's going to be to the left, I think, the whole time. Unless it switches. Okay, it does switch. And so we paste that here. It's all going to be... Nice. Nice. Oh, maybe some mod too. What do you mean mod? You mean like modulating the filter or what? Because that's already being done by the. It doesn't seem like the filter has an envelope, but the volume. No, the filter doesn't have an envelope. The volume. Yeah, I was putting it on the volume. Welcome, Jamie Martin. Welcome, Death Z-Man. I have to go already. Do you stream often? Because it's first time I've caught one of yours. I stream maybe once a week, probably. So yeah, you can if you set notifications, you'll get the. I think you should get the notification when I stream. So that ought to do you well. Maybe some mod too. I don't see. I'm not sure what you mean by mod really. Feels like there's some peak of the harmonics in the high end. Let me check that. Could use wave candy as well. Let me see. I have the window here. It should be big enough for me to see. There's no peak. in the higher end. There might be, I think it's a different unison settings. Ah, I know what this is. It's a like less pitch thickness. Or maybe it's more, actually. It might be chorus. Okay, or yeah, it could be chorus. Let me try chorus again. Nah, I don't think it's moving like that. Yeah, I think that works. I think it might also be a little saturation. Oh, it helps. It makes it sound better. Or maybe, I think it's the phasing. Yeah, there we go. But really, we just need to match the game, so let's see. What we can also do is I can sample the this one from the game. No, don't do that. There it is. Okay, and then we can get a small tiny piece of that. Get even smaller where it's just one vibration. And then I can go and drag this into my patch and see if that helps the timbre. No. That's not really. It's taking the compression. Like there's elements of compression in there that I don't really want to. It's kind of washing it out. Nice. I like it like that anyway. Is this the only SNW song you're restoring? Probably. Maybe by isolating... Maybe listen by isolating the center could help. Well, mono is just going to introduce phasing. I don't know what you mean the center, like isolating the center, like the center of the spectrum maybe, but I think it's working out pretty well actually. Okay. Now that's working out. The next one's the bass, and the bass is probably gonna have, well, actually, yeah, no, I want to keep that on a separate line. Let's clone the strings. Let's call this. Let's put the bass strings here, and then we'll just call this bass strings. And I wonder if that's got a. I think I would have the filter would be less because it's a sample. Yeah, years back when you were still modeling this, and it's sounding pretty close. Thank you. Yeah, so I think that's sounding pretty good. Would you restore Super Mario All-Stars? I don't even know. I don't know the soundtrack. I would have to listen to it. I have Super Mario All-Stars plus Super Mario. Yeah, I was going for this one because I really like this tune and like a couple of the tunes on that game. So I was like, wow, this is pretty nice. I mostly go off like what I enjoy, like what I just kind of piques my interest. Yeah. Okay, why did it bring that window back? Okay, so that is good. I like this. And like this is gonna go to bass strings. Okay, now for the tuba. I also want to give the tuba the same treatment. Put that into a synthesizer. And have the synthesizer model that. Because it just sounds kind of dead. So let's drop that. Wait, let's actually put this down here and then drop that in there. So now we have that wave. And then we can give this a little bit of like unison. And I think that's going to have an envelope on it. And maybe a little bit of... And maybe we can also give that a little... Wait, hold on, I didn't even switch it, duh. I think that's... Is that the wrong octave? Yeah, it's the wrong octave. Why is that? Why is that happening? I think because I had a different root note on that. There we go. So let's put an envelope on that now. Turn down the attack and the decay. Turn up the sustain. Turn down the release. Okay, now let's call this tuba. Okay. And I think that'll do. I want to hear that bass strings more though. And let's send that to the tuba's line. Okay, and we can remove these strings and the regular tuba. Nice. Now, the glitchy bell, let's see. I kind of want to give this some chorus because it's very raw and mono. Turn it down, and then that'll do. Even though it doesn't really do much. Nice. Nice. Unless we can delete the regular bell here. We don't need that. Stereo is pretty sweet. Maybe it's a bit too detuned. Wouldn't it sound weird? Wouldn't it sound weird and monophonic? I don't know. I never really. The thing is, like, you're talking about. Are you talking about mono? Like, as in, if somebody's listening to it on a mono speaker? If you're talking about that, I don't think anybody has a mono speaker these days. Like, that's pretty rare. So. I don't know if anybody really mixes four things in mono, like accounts for that anymore. I've definitely never thought of accounting for it, just because nobody really has, like, even phone speakers are stereo now. So there could be some phasing issues, but I don't know. I never really thought about it. But that said, I do believe the tuba is a little bit too detuned. Let's try it with that. Ah, that's better. And maybe... I was going to send you those leaked files, but I cannot figure out exactly where it is exactly within the thing. Okay. Oh, that's fine. I think we have it pretty well. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so now it loops. I think it loops here. I think it loops right here. I think the regular string should be a bit louder. Oh yeah, much more present. And I think this, let's remove this bridge right here for the ending. Nice. Okay, so let's put a Mass Now Maximus on it to master it. So typically I do this. I put the... Okay, now it looks like everything, like some of the stuff is pretty weak. The tuba particularly, and the bass strings. I want it to be too loud, but what we can't do is punch out the bass in the bass. There we go. And everything can pretty much be a little louder. Nice. Perfect. I'll dig it. Yeah, the strings can come down a bit. Nice. Nice, I dig that. I feel like the tuba and strings are a bit alike or down, maybe too synthy. Amazing anyway. Yeah, they were kind of synthy in the original because it's like, I mean, you can just kind of tell they're synths now because they have others, because they have like detuning and like unison and stuff like that. So that's sort of by design, but that can always be turned down a little bit within reason. So we can take the feels like it's missing a short lead-in note before the loop. Okay. Let's see. Thank you, Mobius. Welcome. This is so clear. Yes. Let's see. The short lead-in. There's a missing lead-in note before the loop. Let me check in on that. Let's see. What do we have? I have D5. A4. D4. D5. A5, D5, D4. Kind of forgetting. A4. D5. A4, D5. D3. A4, D5, D3. F sharp 4 and C5. Okay, let's see what we've got in the original. D5, C5, A4, F sharp 4, and D3. So we have all the same notes. I mean, it's just this, like... Oh, can't hear it because I disabled the... Wait, no, I didn't. Should be able to hear it. Oh, okay, I did disable all that stuff. Okay, so it's that versus... Yeah, see, it's the same. There's no missing notes. Now the strings, yeah. Imagine Sam restoring Evil King Bowser theme. He finds that sample to pitch and the match to make the guitar. Nice, yeah. Amazing anyway, thank you. Nice. All right. Well, we'll call that done for today. Let's see. I don't have the game for this, so I'm just gonna save this in my regular projects. SMW title. Okay. And then we'll set this to be like, let's see, title, theme, or just title, Koji Kondo. Restored by perfection. Okay, and then let me save this on one of my drives. What's the drive I use for Mario stuff? This one. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll render that there, and then I'll make a video later. Alright, y'all. But thanks for coming to the stream, and yeah, this should be up on YouTube tomorrow. Thanks for coming to the stream, and yeah, I'm gonna go do some social stuff. It's Saturday night. So thanks, y'all, and take care. Have a nice night or day, and we'll see y'all next time. Cheers.